You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, Portraits, featuring intimate, in-depth interviews with Black Hollywood stars and influencers. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, Portraits, Daryl Kristen.
What's up, everybody? You're watching Black Hollywood Live Portraits. I'm your host, Daryl Kristen, and here joining me are Courtney Stewart.
Hi.
And DJ Jesse J.
What up?
And we have a very special guest in the house today. You know her as Tasha Lawrence Woodson from the hit show Let's Stay Together on BET. Joyful Drake is here with us.
Woo.
How you doing, Joyful?
I'm great, thanks. Just glad to be here.
How do you like that LA traffic?
You never quite get used to it,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, at least it's a nice day, but we're glad that
Yes.
you're here.
And
Thank
she
you.
dressed fabulous. And for everyone listening, y'all gotta watch the YouTube and check her out.
Yeah, you got to see the hot red pants she's wearing.
Yes.
Now, you have been in this game for over 7 years.
Yes.
So, a lot of people know you obviously from the show, but we want to go back a little bit and get to know who Joyful really was at the beginning. Let's go back to the Milwaukee days.
She's like, whoa.
She's like, uh-oh.
She's like, you already brought up the New York thing.
I know. We'll get into that a little bit later on the show. But so you have 4 siblings, and you're the second oldest, correct?
Well, I have 3 siblings. It's 4 of us total.
Four
yes.
total.
So, and I am the second. I'm
You're
in
the
the middle,
second.
yeah.
And what was it like being a kid in Milwaukee?
You wore long johns a lot, you know. Milwaukee is very cold. I remember days when it was 70 below zero, so schools were closed. Not because it was snowing, it was just too freezing cold to go outside. But it was fun. You know, my family is still there. You know, it's a Midwest, you know, state, and you get a lot of good values instilled in you. So it was
definitely
good.
true.
We ate a lot of cheese too.
A lot of cheese.
Yeah.
What was it like being a middle child in your family?
Well, it's interesting because, you know, there are 2 middle children. There's me. We're all like 3 years apart.
Okay.
So me and my younger sister, who's 3 years younger than me, we would battle for attention all the time because basically we weren't special. You know? we weren't the first and we weren't the last. So we would always constantly like battle, Mom, look at me, like have dance battles and things like that. So we had to, you know, try to get our attention any way we could.
Now, your mom's one of the top physicians in Milwaukee, correct?
Yes, she is.
Now, what did she instill in you with the 4 kids? Like, what type of values did you get from her? Because she was a mother and raising 4 kids at the same time, what did you learn from her?
My mom is like Superwoman. Just watching her, I saw her, we were, you know, she got married and she started having us while she was in medical school. So we were along on that journey. You know, we saw her, you know, go to medical school. I don't really remember that, but I remember when she did her residency.
Late nights.
Yes, and she'd be gone for like 3 days because you have to pretty much stay at the hospital for like 48 or 72 hours. So just watching her balance school, obtaining her dream, because she always wanted to be a doctor, and, you know, being a wife and being a mother. I just grew up thinking anything's possible because I saw my mom like holding it down, and you know, it was just inspiring to see.
Was she really strict with you growing up?
She tried to be with me, but I was the, you know, daughter that kind of broke the mold. She couldn't really quite contain me, and now she says she understands why.
So were you and her a lot alike then? Because, you know, usually that's the case.
No, my mother's very conservative. She reminds me of Claire Huxtable from The Cosby Show. You know, she
really?
always has it together. You know, she's a doctor. She talks to patients, so she's very calming, very nurturing. I'm like the wild one, so I was more like my dad than my mother.
Now, so you grew up and you were in a lot of activities. You were doing dance. You were a
Yes.
cheerleader.
Yes.
Theater.
Theater,
You're like everything.
volleyball, basketball, anything to say, hey, look at me, I would do it. Yeah, I did everything.
At what age did you get the real acting bug though? When you knew like this is where I want to go with it?
Well, I would say we did a lot of like talent shows and plays in high school, and I was like in the jazz swing choir, so I was always performing.
So you got moves.
Yeah, I got some serious moves. And I danced in the NBA for the Milwaukee Bucks right out of high school. I was 18 and I tried out and I made the team. So the minute I stepped on the floor in the Bucks arena with like 20,000 fans looking at me, I was like, this is amazing.
This is what-
So that's when I knew I wanted to perform. It wasn't until I moved to New York and I decided that I wanted to be an actor, and I took like an acting class, and it was just no turning back from then.
Now, oh, go ahead, Justin.
Were your parents supportive? I mean, I know a lot of my friends whose parents are physicians.
Uh-huh.
They usually want them to go in that field, which is strange. But did your mother ever push for that, or were they supportive of the cheerleading, the acting?
The cool thing about my parents is that they let us be individuals and they let us do anything we wanted to do. I remember as a kid, sometimes I'd go to work with my mom and I saw like what it was like to be a doctor, and I knew at a very young age, I'm not doing this. This is not fun. This is not what I want to do.
Do any of your sisters?
No, none of us wanted to be a doctor. So when I said I wanted to be an actor, they were like, okay, great. They always told me, just do what you love. Don't worry about money. If you do what you love, good things will come to you.
That's
So
awesome.
that's good to have supportive parents.
Now, while you were a cheerleader, you're a very attractive woman. So
Thank you.
were a lot of men on the team hitting on you?
Well,
She's like, y'all just gonna put my team out there.
Yes.
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
okay, you can take it as a yes. No, really, I was so young. Like I said, I was like 18.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you did have some guys who, would hit on you or flirt with you, but you're not allowed to fraternize with the players. And for me, it was more about, the girl power and, me with, my team, my dancers were my teammates. So it was just a fun experience. And you work with women who are all ages. Like the thing you don't know about the dancers, they're like from 18 to 35,
Wow.
some of them are teachers and, business women or students. So it was just a great, like, learning lesson to know that you can be what you want to at any age. You don't have to be 18 and dance, and you can be 30 and do it if you want.
What's one of the biggest lessons that you learned out of that came out of that for you?
Working hard.
Really?
Yes. Like, I don't think you understand how hard those girls work.
Like you watched your mom do it, but this is a whole.
This
It's
is
a
a
different
whole
arena.
We would have 4-hour practices where you just danced
Wow.
straight
Really?
for 4 hours. You might get a 5-minute water break twice. You had weight goals. You had just strength goals. You are athlete.
Yeah.
So it's not like you just get out there, hey, I'm cute and I'm dancing.
Right.
No. You had to perform and compete, because a lot of times they'll have like 20 girls on the team, but only 12 dance a game. So you had to be at the top of your game to get picked to dance.
Wow.
And like when the Lakers came to town or the Knicks, everyone was like, okay,
And were you already a big NBA, like loving the NBA before you started to be a cheerleader, or?
Well, I didn't want to tell you, but I did play basketball. You are looking at a Milwaukee, Wisconsin state champion,
Wow.
MVP. Thank you. So I was a huge fan. Yeah, so that made it a lot of fun too.
So now tell us about the path of how you went to college after that, because that's kind of a nice safe way into that. So
Well, I was in college while I was dancing.
Oh, you were still dancing, okay.
Yeah, so I went to the University of Wisconsin-Madison on an academic scholarship, and it was just balancing, school, and I pledged AKA,
Uh-oh.
and dancing for the Bucks. So it was just balancing, I would say pretty much fun things that I wanted to do. I think school is important. I talk about it to a lot of kids whenever I can. And I think going to school, I didn't major in theater, but going to school prepared me for everything that I'm doing now.
It's interesting because a lot of kids, start young,
Yeah.
and it's interesting to hear your story where you got to live a full life and then decided to go in. And is that so? That's something that you would definitely recommend to younger girls in their career. Figure out really what you want to do rather than jumping in?
Yeah, I just think like right now, everyone thinks that it's so easy to be an actor or you can be in a reality
Yeah.
show, and I don't even know if people really want to be actors or if they just want to be famous.
Famous, right? Yeah.
And for me, I don't really care to be famous. I like to go to eat, with my family and finish my food and look crazy or whatever. I don't want to have to always be together. I just love to act. So I definitely encourage kids to go to school. No matter what you want to do, you should always go to school. I think you just learn so many life lessons that'll help you throughout your life journey. And once you get your degree, no one can take that away from
That's
you.
true.
You know?
And after college, so you moved to New York,
Yay!
and you got your job of waiting and a waitress. And so tell us about that, like starting off there as a aspiring actress in New York City.
Milwaukee to New York.
Milwaukee to New York.
New York. Well, see, the only way I got to New York, the only way my mother would let me go was if it made sense. So I got an internship my senior year in college at Sony Music.
Oh, okay.
So I did that, and I just loved the city. I was like, I'm never leaving. I mean, it was like the greatest city. It was a melting pot of people. They didn't care about, what color you were. It was just amazing, and the arts and the culture that was there. So I decided to stay. And I worked at the Hudson Hotel. Have you guys ever?
I've been there.
You know the Hudson?
I know the Hudson.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
we had fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's where all the beautiful people work in New York City, see?
Oh, well, maybe that's why it was so much fun. But it was just a great, job. I met a lot of people. I actually met someone who referred me to a manager out here, Vincent Serencione, who manages Hallie and a bunch of other great people. And that was like my connection to LA. So I saved my money. I came out here. I met with like maybe 6 or 7 people, and people told me, you sound funny. You're not pretty enough. You're not going to make it. And he was the only guy who said, I think you got it. You should come out here. So I went back and worked and saved more money and ended up here.
What happened as far as, damn girl, like from cheerleading to Sony Music?
I
Like,
know, it's crazy.
No, but it amazes me because it's like you wear all the hats, and that's great. So why Sony Music? Why the music industry?
I
it just a
can
chance?
sing too. No.
Do
No.
a little verse for us of your favorite song right now.
Come on, girl.
Yeah, he can do it for me.
The real deal.
No, I got to hear her voice.
No.
Why you can't
That
go?
was a joke.
Oh, okay.
But I like music, and I like all the arts, and they had this amazing internship program, and I applied, and I flew out to interview, and they like picked me out of 200 people, so it was just like an amazing opportunity. And I learned the business, another side of the business, and it was a great experience.
And do you feel that even just all that experience helped you to get to the place of where you are now with being a successful actress, all of those fundamental things you learned?
Well, I was working with Yvette Noel Shore, who's Beyonce Knowles' publicist. So I was right in the mix of, I was working with Destiny's Child. I was working with all these like crazy famous people, and I was getting their coffee. I was, go downstairs and pick up the lunch. I was going to get their lunch. I was doing all these things, and it was a good learning lesson. But I realized that I had a talent that I wanted to share with the world, and I wasn't going to promote necessarily someone else's. I wanted to spend my life promoting mine,
Right.
because I saw how happy they were and how talented all these wonderful people, around me were. So I just said, okay, I'm going to do it. And thank God it kind of worked out,
Yeah, your first guest starring role was on Soul Food.
Yes.
So you worked with Nicole Reed Parker, Boris Kojo,
yes.
Vanessa Williams. Were you nervous for your first job when you were on set?
I was so nervous. Let me tell you, that was like the first job. The first job you book, they send this limo to your house. It was shot in Toronto. And so
yeah.
they fly you like first class to Toronto, and it becomes real. You're not in that audition room anymore.
What was the audition like?
they just put you on tape, and
Were you nervous going in? I mean, you know what soul food is.
no, I wasn't nervous. I just look at auditions as an opportunity for me to perform for the day. Okay, I get to act today, you know. So it's fun. It's what I love to do. And it was me and the casting director. It's not like, you know, Felicia Henderson was the executive producer of that. No producers were in the room because they were all in Toronto. So when I get to set, it's like this elaborate set. They're like, Joyful, do you need anything? I'm like in this suite at the Hyatt downtown. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? So I get to set, and it was just real. And it was scary because I felt that was like my moment of truth.
Yeah.
I'm either going to love this, or all this work I put into this and studying and audition, or I'm going to hate it. So, like, we did the first take, and I was like, oh, this is it. I love it. It's great. And everyone on that show is so nice.
I heard it's a very close set. We had Boris on the show a week ago, and he was talking about the set being really great, too.
They're a family, and they still are, like, years later, you know?
Did anyone help you out on set as far as?
Melinda Williams, yeah.
I feel like
Melinda.
y'all would have some good stories.
She's good people.
We have the same birthday.
Oh.
We're born in different years, but we're both September 24.
Ah.
Yeah.
Virgo.
Well, we're Libra,
Libra.
Virgo.
Libra,
We're like
Virgo.
right on the cusp. It could go either way.
Now you work also. We were talking about you work with the Soul Food cast, but you've also worked with Monique
Yay!
and on 2 films.
Academy Award
course,
winner.
Academy Award
Miss
winner,
Monique,
Miss
honey.
Monique.
Let's get it right.
That's
Yes.
right. And you worked with her on Hair Show and Fat Girls.
Yes.
Now, what was that experience like working with her?
Oh, I love Monique. Hair Show, I didn't really have that many scenes with her. I had some scenes with Taraji, who is insanely talented. So that was fun. It was crazy. If you remember that scene, it was like a lot of pulling out. It was a lot. So I got to work closer with Monique on Fat Girls, which we shot in Palm Springs in the summer in like 120-degree weather.
Oh my no.
So yeah, it was so much fun. I learned so much from her. She is just an amazing talent. She's a strong woman. And I got to do her talk show, I think in 2010 when our show premiered on Let's Stay Together. And when I saw her, we just hugged. And it was just like I hadn't seen her since she won the Oscar. And I don't think people really know how challenging her life has been and how she's such a fighter. So that moment she stood up there and she got that Oscar, I was just crying like a baby because I was just so happy for her because she deserved it, and I was just glad that it, happened.
And you've said that you have a lot of similarities to Monique in the way that you guys deal with life. What are some of the similarities?
Enjoying every moment. Not putting yourself in a box. Like you were saying, how do you go from this to this to that? Like, I like to try things. And if I try it and I like it, great. Okay, cool. This is the direction I'm going to go in. Or if I don't like it, maybe I should stay over here.
Yeah.
But I'm not just going to X something out because it's out of my comfort zone. And I know Monique is the same way too, and just doing your best. Like, I just want to do good work. Like, I'm not the type of girl who just wants to check. I want to get up there. I want to bring something to the scene. I want someone out there in the audience to be moved or touched by it. So I want to have a positive effect on people who see my work as well.
And she's known for kind of making fun of skinny girls in her
Lord.
comedy routine. Did she ever, when you came on set, was she like, who is this girl right here?
Well, no. It was so funny because when I got the job, people were like, aren't you scared? She doesn't like skinny girls. But I hadn't seen her stand up.
Okay.
So I didn't know. But Monique is one of the warmest people that you'll ever meet. So she did pick with me, like, you eating carrots? Okay. But it was all in fun,
And she's such a great comedian. Did you learn a lot of comedic skills from her, like timing?
Yes. And also I learned I could hang with her. If you can hang with Monique, like, you're doing a good job because no take is the same.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, she keeps you on your toes. So you have to be focused. You have to be present. You have to be in the moment. And you just have to go with it. Wherever she went, I would follow, and it worked out pretty good.
And what was her best piece of advice she ever gave you?
Oh, her best piece: manage your money.
Smart.
Manage your money. Make sure you know what's coming in and what's going out.
Very smart. And now from there, you worked on Beauty Shop. So
Yay!
another very talented woman you work with, Queen Latifah. And the cast also had Alfred Woodard, Keisha Knight Pullum, and Alicia Silverstone. Were you ever intimidated to work with all those legendary actresses? Or
No. I was excited.
Right.
I was so excited the night before it was like Christmas. I couldn't sleep. I was like, okay. That was such a fun set. I remember that movie. It was directed by Billy Woodrow.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, in between takes, he had, I don't know if he was a DJ, he had some kind of sound system, and he would just pump up this music, and we would just be dancing, like to keep our energy up
Right.
and to keep it just a fun place. And Queen Latifah would call cast meetings, and she would say, okay, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? And that's when I realized why she is who she is and why she's had the long and successful career that she has is because she includes everybody. She's not bigger than the project, and she's not bigger than anybody in the project. She realized that it's really a team and a collective effort. And it made it so much fun.
And I know Billy, and I know that he mentioned one time that he actually had people, like real beauticians on set to help and counsel the actors, basically. Did you learn any secret
Special
little
tricks.
hair tricks to do that you want to pass along to all the other girls listening right now?
Yeah, if you don't know how to do your hair like me, let someone who knows how to do it. Yeah, that's what I learned.
Oh, that's great. So now the next role, I'm like, that's great. Yeah, actually, I don't know about hair regimens. You know what I mean? I'm real easy. You shave it off. You know, you guys have to do something totally different.
Looks good.
Working for you.
Yeah, thank you. It's working for her. All right, so Get 'Em to the Greek. You're in that in 2010.
Yes.
Insane talents on that movie as well.
Awesome.
You
movie.
play
Funny movie.
Sergio's baby's mama.
Baby mama.
Baby mama. Now, AKA Diddy's baby's mama.
I think we had like 5 kids. I don't know. So many kids.
So we want
Very
you to
similar to his
Very
real
real
life.
life.
very similar to
Oh,
real life.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I said it.
That wasn't
Jesse
me.
Jackson.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Okay.
Now, we want you to do something. We want to test your baby
Oh, no.
mama skills.
What?
Can you, in your best ghetto fabulous voice, answer this next question? You ready? Was it just as crazy on camera as it was off camera?
Did that work? No.
That's
you
the
buy
answer.
it?
That's the answer.
No, it didn't work.
Oh, well.
Tried.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. But no, I'm sure that show was a lot of fun, and it was just crazy all the time with those guys.
It was crazy. Working with Puff was crazy. He's a method actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he really wanted to, be in the character.
What about Russell Brand?
Oh, he's insane.
Really?
Like, when you're that funny and you're that, talented, I think you have to be a little bit out of your mind.
That's what they say. Yeah.
to be that talented. It was a fun set. It was a lot of people in that movie.
Yeah.
And it was just fun. I mean, anytime you get to work on a Judd Apatow film, like, you do it.
And it was Jason
Don't say
Segel
no.
who was directing, correct? Was that?
No,
No,
it
it wasn't. No,
No, it wasn't Jason Segel.
okay. But he was a part of the project or something like that as well, I think.
Oh, maybe he was a producer
Yeah,
on
he's
it
producer.
or something. Okay.
So next, you kind of switch it up. You go to a more dramatic movie,
Yes.
Badass.
Yes.
Again, not putting yourself in a box.
Not putting yourself in a box,
There,
being a full
everywhere.
artiste. What was it like for you to prepare for that role, since it was very different from what you had played in other movies with more comedy?
It was fun. I was looking to do something different because I kind of get put in that comedic box, which is fun. It's good to be put in any, type of box. But I wanted to do something different. And Amber, the character I played, she was an abused woman. And, I really wanted to, represent that for the women that have gone through that type of an experience, to portray it, as truthfully and as honestly as I could. And it was fun. And working with Danny Trejo,
Yeah,
You're right.
he's so cool.
brilliant.
And I was like, Danny, you're the nicest person I've ever met, ever. And he's like, shh, don't tell anyone. You'll ruin my image, because he's like this tough guy. But he's so nice. He still will call me, hey, how are you? I'm just checking on you. Like, he's just super nice.
How do you prepare for these roles? Like, something like that? Like you said, Diddy was a method actor. Would you consider yourself a method actor or actress? Or?
You know, I have a method that I use. Some people go real method. You know, where they might, you know, do certain things that the character will do. If it's like drinking or stuff like that, I don't go that far. I have a method that I use. I study with the excellent acting coach. Her name is Ivana Chubbuck. She is acting coach to pretty much everyone.
Yeah, she's one of the best
You
in the
know,
business.
who's won an Oscar.
Yeah.
And I've been working with her since I've been out here. And if I get a movie like that, actually, I worked with her on Badass. I'll give her the script. She'll read it. She knows me. She's known me since I've moved out here. So she knows my personal life and family history. And I bring real stuff to my roles. Instead of trying to recreate something, I bring my life experiences to my parts. So you get a piece of Joyful in every character that I
Love
that.
play.
Have you developed a preference now? Do you kind of like the drama a little bit more, or you're good staying in comedy if that was what you
I
had
want to
to
do some drama. I mean, I love comedy. It's just so natural. It's so fun.
natural.
But I do want to do more drama, you know, if it's the right thing. You know, it just depends on what's out there.
Is
at
there
the
a
moment.
role that you have set up in your mind that you would like to go for?
You know, right now we're shooting season 3 of our show, and we've
Congratulations.
been shooting. Thank you.
And claps.
Thank you. And we've been shooting since January, and we won't be done until May. So I haven't had time to think about any other role out there. So
And speaking of your role, you auditioned 5 times for Tasha on Let's Stay Together.
yeah.
And now, describe what your audition was like. Did they have you do different scenes every time, or what was it really like to be in the room?
Let me that was years. Okay, let me think about it.
Yeah, we had to take you
I
back.
gotta
a
take
little
it
bit.
back. Take it back.
We need like the take back music.
Right? No, you go, and I know the producers were in the room. Robbie Reed is
Robbie,
the casting director, who's the
She's
head
now
of
VP or
the head
programming
of
for BT
casting
now.
over
Yeah.
there at BET Networks. So I've known Robbie, so she thought I was right for this part, and she called me in, and the producer's there, and they're like, yes. They just smile. You do your read, and you put everything in it, and you look, and you're like, okay, and they're like, yes, thank you. And then you know,
You're trying to read their
yeah, and
emotions.
you're like,
What's going on? Okay.
okay, all right. So, and then you get a call. They want you to come back. And now instead of 2 people in the room, it's 4 people. And you're like, oh, hey, what's up? And you do your read. And now 4 people are like, okay, thank you. And then you leave. And then you come back. And it's a group of people. Like, it just gets more and more.
Uh-oh.
I spilled my water here.
But you made it look good when you did it. You made it look good when you did it.
I got excited,
It was
you know?
like we in a
You
music.
did, we really took you back. You fell in this moment right now. Your laugh is contagious. I'm about to start laughing.
I know. Sorry. But yeah, and then we did a chemistry read. So what happens is you show up at this chemistry read, and there's about 3 people reading for your part. And then there are guys that they're pairing you up with. So they did like this whole mix and match. And then they started sending people home and sending people home. And then I was lucky and, you know, blessed enough to be the girl that they didn't send home for my character. And the guy who plays my husband, Ronrico Lee,
Yeah.
I read with him one time. And I said, okay, that's my husband on the show. I knew it.
You knew it. You had that
We
feeling.
just had that chemistry.
Yeah.
It was fun. It just worked. And I knew it at that moment. I said, okay, this is what it is. Like some things you know, and I just knew that. 'Cause
You can see it on the show between you two.
it just works.
Yeah.
So, and
And-
he's an amazing guy, amazing actor.
And at that very moment when you got the role, do you remember what you were doing?
No.
That's like the important moment when you get the call and
She's like, next question.
she's like, next. All right.
I knew I had it when me and Rico read together.
You knew that. That was
I
it.
knew like this is it. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. And when I got the call, it was like, oh, great. It was confirming what my instincts already knew. But I don't remember what I was doing.
But with the character, you are a mother. You are an interior designer. You're a wife.
Yes.
How much of that did you relate to your own experience with your mother?
Well, not much because I'm a mother of like twins.
Yeah.
They're like so young, and when you're that young, I don't remember my mom, when I was that young. As a wife, I related to my mom because she was an amazing wife, and I remember how she always had my dad's back, and she made it look so easy,
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I tried to incorporate in my character, as making it be, I don't want to say labor, but a labor of love.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she loves taking care of her family. She loves, being there for her husband. She doesn't cook much, but if she did, she would love to cook for him. So,
What's
yeah.
it like working with twins on set? Something new?
Insane.
Because they have the laws, they have to switch them out every certain amount of hours or so, right?
We had so many different babies on that
Yeah.
show.
I'm sure, yeah.
I'm like, who is this? This is your son. Oh, okay, my new one. Okay, hey. Because kids that young, they're not used to working, and
Right.
it's hot,
Yeah.
and the lights, and you got to do 20 takes, and they're a lot of fun. They're super duper cute, and they bring a lot of energy to the set when they come. Hopefully, the ones we have now we'll keep them.
Stay-
Let them grow up.
Because I really like them. Sometimes I get sad. I'm like, I ain't getting to say bye to my baby. Like, y'all just told him he can't come back. Okay.
And what's a, oh,
Sorry,
go ahead,
I was
Courtney.
gonna say, for you, what was the transition like from you've done a lot of film and then you're a series regular on a show? Like, how was that transition for you?
It was a bit of a transition because I'm used to getting, a 90 or 120 page script and really knowing my character and diving into it and knowing every scene that I'm in. And now it's like everything changes, and in season 1 I'm doing this, and then season 2 my ex-boyfriend's trying to come back, and now I'm doing a whole different thing. I mean, she just constantly changes. So for me, just getting used to those fast changes, and getting used to getting a new script, because we shoot on a fast pace.
Yeah.
So getting a new script like every 3 days.
Would you say you have more say in your character development in movies versus TV, or?
I would say in TV, they start to write for you. They merge. What happens in television, most writers will find out your strengths, and they will start to write towards your strengths. And you'll merge with the character more, and they will, you spend years together, so they'll start writing for Joyful, and okay, I like when she does this. So, it works kind of that way. In film, it's pretty specific. They want this character, got a couple months to shoot it, then just
Figure out how to
Get
make
it
it
done.
work.
Make
Make
it
it work.
get it
Make it
done.
happen.
Thank you. That's why we hired you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you guys we were mentioning chemistry. You have such great chemistry on the set. Who are you the closest to?
Well, like, what do you mean?
Like, who's your partner?
What does that mean?
Yeah, what do you mean? That was what do you mean,
Listen,
actually?
it's not that type of show.
I was like, well, who's your partner in crime?
Okay, so I have great relationships with all of my castmates. Kyla Pratt is like my little sister. So, but Ron Rico is like one of my best friends. So they're different type of relationships. Probably because I do come from a family of all girls, and I have 2 younger sisters. It's close between Kyla and Rico, because Kyla, she just naturally she seems like she's my sister.
Yeah.
In like real life, just the way we act. And it's cool because where we stay, her apartment is like 1 level above mine. So on Friday nights, I'm cooking, girl. I'm having she can cook. She makes like crab legs.
That's what
and
I heard.
Oh,
yes,
yes.
because she's from New Orleans.
Yes.
Her family's from New Orleans. And, we just end up hanging out and talking just like sisters do. So
Yeah, we met her at the BET press release you guys had a couple of weeks ago, and she was talking about that too. She was saying she cooks and family and how important the set is.
she's an amazing, I called her Superwoman, because we had worked like 15 hours. And then she came home, and then she's like, I'm cooking. And she invited everyone up to eat. Then she, she has the most adorable daughter. Then she's fixing her daughter's plate. I was like, oh my God, you making me look bad. Like, what are you doing?
You want me to wash a plate or something?
Right. Okay.
And speaking of relationships, on the show,
Okay.
you ready?
Yeah.
I was-
Why you guys having a relationship?
Right.
You know, her and Kyla, relationship, chemistry.
On the
On
show.
the show. On the
show.
show. Speaking of relationships now, seriously.
Uh-huh.
No, so you are friends with your ex-boyfriend on the show.
I wouldn't say friends.
You're
but
friendly.
We know yeah, okay.
They're cool.
Yeah, we all right.
Do you think that it's hard to actually stay friends with an ex-boyfriend?
Yes. Yes.
You said that really quick.
Yes, I did. It depends. When you say friends, like what? He hits you like on holidays, or like say hey, Merry Christmas, or like y'all hang out.
You can hang out periodically.
No, I used to think that, and I had an ex-boyfriend, not the one that you know, and
See, I wasn't gonna bring that up on the show. See,
I just wanted
Clocked
to
your own
clarify
tea.
it. So, and we dated for I think a couple years. We dated for maybe like 2 or 3 years, and then we were like best friends for like ever. But I think what happens is that it's never really a even true friendship because one person is gonna like the other person still.
yeah.
So unless you have that understanding that we're strictly friends, I don't ever want to go back there. It's gonna get messy.
Would you be
And
comfortable dating a guy who's best friends with his ex-girlfriend?
Well, see, that's a whole different question because some guys weren't comfortable with me being friends with my boyfriend. But it was like, this is my friend, this is my family. Like, you gotta trust me. So
with boyfriends, do you currently have a boyfriend?
I knew you were going there.
She felt it.
She felt it.
And next question.
Okay.
Well, what are some of the strengths that you feel you bring to the show? With your acting expertise, I mean, going in there and working with some people who this is their first time, being on set.
I think being in the moment, I think having fun. I'm sure you guys can tell I have a lot of energy. I'm kind of pulling back right now.
No good. Don't put
Go full forward. Go full blast. Do it.
So I think just keeping the energy and having fun, and I think that energy is so important on sitcoms. So especially when you don't shoot in front of a live audience, and we don't have a live audience, and that live audience, it's like doing theater. It's like a high, it's like a rush. So I think I bring a lot of energy to the set. It's so crazy because when I show up, if I'm quiet. What's going on? Like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm just chilling. Okay, because I think they feed off of my energy a lot. So
we were saying you're in the 3rd season of the show.
Yay!
It just premiered this week, March 26th, I believe, for the new season.
Yeah.
What can we expect from your character?
Let me see. Because everything, like, since we're shooting, I'm trying to
Oh,
think.
right, you have to figure out where you are.
Tasha is you're gonna see she is entering that moment of becoming like a little mini mogul, so to say.
Okay.
Her business is flourishing, and you will get to see her. A lot of people wanted to see the twins more. They wanted to actually see her as a mom and a wife. So you'll get to see that side of her. She's still fabulous, in her shoes and all of that stuff that she wears. But so you'll get to see more of her family life.
Okay.
Which is pretty fun and pretty cool, and she's a lot funnier this season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, with you being an actress, and we've had this conversation with a couple other people who've come on the show, there's so much success now. There's Scandal, there's The Game, it's a great show. There's your show, Let's Stay Together. Do you think that there's a lot more roles now for black women, or even just black actors in general?
I do. I was watching Once Upon a Time Sunday or two.
Love that show.
Was it this
Yep,
Sunday?
Sunday.
And they had I can't pronounce her name. Do you know her name?
I know who she is. I can't pronounce her
Beautiful.
name. She's also on Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Yes.
beautiful young African American.
Is it Denai?
I don't want to
Not
call
sure.
it
I don't want to.
and not say it
I'm not going to say it
incorrectly.
because I don't want
I
to.
got you.
butcher it and
Yeah.
it just be horrible. But she's a great actress,
Yep.
beautiful African American young lady, and I definitely think so. You know, the thing about Hollywood is it's always changing. Like when I first came out here, you know, reality television wasn't that big. Now it's
Yeah.
this boom, and African American women weren't really in. African American men were, but African American women weren't. And now it's like African American women are being looked at, you know, as, you know, major players
Yeah.
in Hollywood, leaders, you know, and I think it's amazing. You know, you have so many talented African American women on shows, like from Megan Good on Deception to Kerry Washington on Scandal,
Yeah.
Taraji on Point of
Point of
Interest.
interest,
And these are major network shows. And I don't think there has ever been a time in history where you have had that, you know? So it's wonderful to see. And it's wonderful that my nieces get to see that. And we have so many great images. And I think a lot of it has to do with us being strong and powerful, you know, and having wonderful people and role models out there like Miss Michelle Obama and
Oh, yeah.
things like that. So I think we're being recognized, and I think that we're forcing them to recognize us,
Yeah.
and that's a very good thing.
Do you think that reality TV has hindered the roles for black women in any way? I mean, because there's like there's a pro and a con to the perception of some of the reality
Some
stars.
of them, you know, but then you have someone like Nene Leakes who, and Nene did our show, and when she did our show, she was amazing. She was the nicest person, and what you don't know about Nene, or what a lot of people don't know about her, is that she's been trying to act for like 12 years.
Yeah.
You know, she would come out to LA and try to do pilot season. And because of her, you know, talents and her spot on Housewives, she was able to, you know, do Glee, and now
Yep.
she has
Yeah.
the new normal.
Normal, yeah.
And I think someone like her, you know, she's a positive example of what you can do if you stay persistent and you really stay true to your passions and what you love. So I'm not going to talk about any other shows,
Uh-oh.
you know, reality shows out there. There are some good ones.
Yeah.
There are some positive ones.
Cynthia Bailey, even from Housewives, I mean, a popular model.
Very
She
true.
did a
Yes,
great-
very classy lady. And then you have some shows that, you know, are just strictly
Yeah.
what they
Well,
are.
well, yeah.
They are.
Now you have a new film coming out, Shreveport,
Yes, I do.
alongside Ryan Phillippe.
Yes.
What was that experience like? And
Ryan-
tell us about the character as well.
Well, first of all, Ryan Phillippe directed that,
Yeah.
so it's his directorial debut, and he's an amazing director.
Really?
Like, I think everyone's gonna be like happily surprised. Like, wow. And it's a gritty film. My character's gritty. It
How was he on
wasn't
set?
a comedy.
As
Back to your dramatic skills.
All right.
as far as like, I mean, you said
Mm-hmm.
working with Monique and Queen Latifah, they gave you such great advice, and Queen Latifah wanted everybody to, you know, give input. Was Ryan kind of different? Was
No, first of all, he's an actor, so he understands actors. And his biggest thing was just making the best project and making you feel comfortable. And, you know, they treated me great from the moment I got off the plane. And, you know, we talked about the scenes and what do you want to do and how do you see this. So he really cared about my vision, you know, as an artist as well. And I think when you care about other people's vision, you take your ego out of stuff, you know, and you want to do what's best for the project. I think that's when you win, you know. And he gets that because he's an actor.
Yeah.
And acting is really like a tennis match. If I hit you the ball, you got to be able to hit it back to me. I can't play by myself.
I mean, that's a great point. That's a great point. And like, so you've gotten all these roles. How do you stay humble in this whole business?
My
Because of-
mama.
I was
Yeah, you know, just being thankful. I have great people around me
do your sisters tease you ever?
all the time.
Like, oh, here comes a Hollywood actress.
Here she comes.
All the time. They watch the show. Joyful, that wasn't Tasha, that was you. I'm like, okay. But like I said, I want to be an actress. I wanted to be an actress. I love to act. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be famous and all that stuff. I really love to do the work of an actor. If you saw one of my scripts, you would say, wow, because it's broken down. It's notes all over it. It's highlighted. It's color coded with pens. Like, I like to do the work.
And how has your life changed since you've gotten so much success?
You meet a different realm of people. I've met a lot of great people like you guys.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
You get to do fun things like this. You realize that you're consistently building a platform. Like when I go and I speak to kids, they listen to me now, which is pretty cool. And you just try to do good with that. And it's changed in a positive way. I won't say I've changed. I've always been this way, this bubbly, energetic type person. And I've always, tried to follow and do what I love. So it's nice to kind of be recognized, and
Yeah.
people say, oh, I love the way you guys portray black love on TV. We don't see that, so that feels good.
Has there been any crazy fan stories of them coming up to you and doing anything crazy?
Oh, yes.
Oh, we got to hear. What was
You
it?
thought that was
Yeah.
one
One
specific
specific-
moment.
Right, right.
Really
You went right to it.
Yes. When was the All-Star here in
February, yeah.
Atlanta? I mean, in
2
shit.
Oh, 2 years ago, yeah.
So we're at this. I think it was the Kevin Hart concert at the LA Live, and I'm just walking. It's me and my girls. This girl came up to me, hit me so hard, I like fell over. I was like, oh my gosh. She was like, girl, I know you, girl. And I was like, well, okay. Because she was excited to see me, and I guess she didn't realize how strong she was. So she
She was a little heavy-handed.
very. She like knocked me over. My friends were like, yo, what's going on? But she was just excited to see me that she like literally knocked me off my feet. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Is it kind of surreal for some fans? Like, I mean, especially with movies, it's different, but a TV show, they get to know this personality. So, like her, she came up to you. I mean, is that often the case with most fans?
Yeah, people
They
touch you a
expect
lot.
something?
They touch you a lot.
Invade your space a little bit.
They just come and hug you, and
Yeah.
I mean it's great. I'm glad you guys are watching the show and you love the show and you connect. That means I'm doing my job.
Right.
I'm doing something right. But that took a minute for me to get used to people just coming up and hugging me.
Mm-hmm.
And it took more from my family to get used to that. They'd be like, "Yo, what's going on?" So it's pretty cool. But the other weird thing, because we shoot in Atlanta, so when I go out, I like never wear any makeup. I wear like a hat, my Uggs, I'm just chilling. Yes, and I'm shopping, and I go to pay for my stuff. And, the girl asked me a question and I answer, and she looks up. She goes, oh, so you excited about your show? I was like, how'd you recognize me? She's like, I did, and I heard your voice. And I knew it was you. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
They're
Crazy
watching.
they're watching. That's a good thing.
That's good.
That's what
Keep watching.
keep your ratings up on
Yeah.
BET. That's right.
Right.
Now, if you could use one word to define you, what would you use? What would you say?
Joyful.
Yes, honestly, it really is. I was sitting
All over you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I would say my name truly describes me. I grew into it.
You grew
Agreed.
into it.
Yeah.
I like that. So now we're gonna have some fun, a little bit more fun.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna have more fun. All right, so I got a couple questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Just 5 easy questions. Favorite all-time movie?
You can't pick one. Are you kidding?
I have mine.
What's yours?
Purple Rain.
Oh.
Don't make me do my
Yeah.
Prince impression. But no, go ahead. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, please give us that.
No, no. Oh no, no.
No, Purple
After
Rain.
hours.
I can watch Purple Rain like every time it comes on TV. Favorite all-time movie?
Or at least
Pick a comedy
pick
and a
one.
drama.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I'll pick. I love musicals. I'll say Chicago.
Okay.
And for a comedy, oh gosh, Trading Places.
Great
Mm-hmm.
films.
And that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Now, if you had an autobiography and you had to pick an actor to play you, who would it be?
Right now,
And they could be, I mean, they don't have to be out right now. It could be someone, you know, whoever you like, whoever you feel,
So I don't know.
you know.
You have to cast somebody to play yourself.
You saying they could be older or younger?
Yeah, whatever you like.
Um,
I would assume they'd be younger, but, you know, whatever you like.
who's a good young? I don't know.
That's all right. All right. Yeah, right. We're gonna go into that. Right. Okay. Here's another one. What was the worst date you ever had?
I went out with this guy,
That's a good one. It's coming out.
and we were supposed to meet at this restaurant. Just we kind of met there, but we weren't supposed to eat there because I don't eat at that restaurant. I'm kind of particular about my food, and I don't want to say the name of the restaurant.
Okay.
But it was a restaurant that I don't eat at, and he was like, "Well, don't worry, we're not gonna eat here. We're gonna walk to such and such." It was in Brentwood over there, and I was
Okay.
like, "Okay, cool." So then I show up. And he's at the bar eating, and I was like, "Well, I thought you weren't gonna eat here." He's like, "I know, just sit down, let's eat." And then I was like, "Okay, cool." So I ordered something, and then the bill comes, and he pulls out his. You know how you give gift cards to the
Oh,
restaurant?
yeah. Oh.
So he pulls out the gift card to pay for the thing, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then we were walking to the concert, and then he pulls out these little liquor bottles. And he's like, "Here, stuck these in your purse." I was like, "Why?" He was like, "So we can take the
Wow.
liquor in the concert." I was like, "But we could just buy some drinks when we get inside." And he was like, "No, we can't." So he was trying to stuff little bottles of liquor in my purse. It was horrible.
Wow. I don't even know what to say after
Uh,
that.
is
one.
that bad?
That's pretty
On a
bad.
That's pretty bad,
Yeah,
right?
that's pretty bad.
All right. What about your first celebrity
A
crush?
gift card.
My first celebrity crush? I've always loved Denzel.
Okay.
Still do.
He's
Who
great.
doesn't?
He's amazing. I don't know if I like him because of how he looks or just how darn good of an actor he
Yeah,
is.
he
He's
br- he
just,
brings it.
and he's been doing it consistently for years.
He brings it. Mm-hmm. Now, Jesse, you had a couple questions too, right?
I do. So mine are a little more risque.
Ooh.
It's called None of Your Business. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions,
Okay.
and you can say none of your business to one of them. All right? So question number 1, do you support legalizing marijuana?
Do I support it? I'm not against it.
You're not against.
Okay.
That's
That's
Okay.
fair.
That's an
That's
answer.
fair.
Okay.
Now,
That's
since
fair.
you're in beauty shop,
Uh-huh.
weave, wig, or natural? In general.
Can I say all 3? No?
Yeah,
It
you
depends
could.
on what
Yeah.
you're doing. I like to go natural when I'm not working, but if I'm working, I'm not going to let them burn off my hair.
Fair enough.
Been,
Fair.
been, been there, done that. right?
Got the t-shirt.
Yes,
Moving on.
okay.
All right. Tonight, you can ask any 3 people in the world. Never met them. It could be just family. 3 people. Who would you want to have at your dinner table?
Barack Obama,
Great answer.
Oprah Winfrey, and Nelson Mandela.
Wow.
That is
That's
a table.
yeah.
Beyonce or Rihanna?
No comment. Can I tell you that? I love them both.
I have one more question. You sure you want to use your none of your business right now?
Oh, Beyonce or Rihanna? Riri, Rihanna.
Fair enough.
Yes.
And last question: when was your last walk of shame?
None of your business.
And on that note,
Now, Courtney, you have something too, right?
On that note, and in the vein of that question, love, lust, or murder?
Wow.
Love.
We've got,
okay.
we got 3 people for you.
3
Who would you
bachelors.
love? Who would you just lust after and do things with?
These are good questions.
Who would you murder?
And it's
Okay.
the white boy edition.
It's the white boy edition. We have Ryan Phillippe,
Oh, gosh.
Channing Tatum,
Oh.
and Joe Manganiello,
From
the Wolfman from True Blood. You know him?
She's like, I know him very well.
Okay, so.
Love, lust, or murder?
Oh, gosh.
Think of it as a movie. Who would you cast for each role?
Who would you be in love
There
with?
we go.
Who would I be in love with? Probably the guy from True Blood.
I'm not mad. Okay. Who
Yes.
would you just have a lusty evening with?
Probably Channing Tatum. Yeah, probably him.
All right, so then,
Brian, you gave her a job, but no.
Ryan,
We love you.
Ryan, we love you, man.
I love you, Ryan. They made me do it.
It was our fault. Don't blame her. It was our fault.
Well, thank you for answering.
I didn't want to lust and love upon my director.
That's true.
That's
That's
true.
a good
That's very
point.
professional. Keep
That's a
it
good point.
professional.
Then you got the
Amen.
blogs
There you
talking.
go.
Now, where can your fans find you?
I'm on Twitter at Joyful Drake, and I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm on BET every Tuesday night.
And be sure to
Every
watch
Tuesday
her
night.
every Tuesday night at 10:30 on BET.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm Dario Kristen, joined by Courtney Stewart and DJ Jesse J. Be sure to go to www.blackhollywoodlive.com and check out everything about us. And we're going to see you next Friday.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Dario Kristen, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network. If you have questions or comments, tweet us at BHL Online or email us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. For more exclusive content, visit blackhollywoodlive.com. This is the views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.